I think it should be spent across the city, because I may live in District 2 and don't have any flooding issues or backup water. But if I'm driving through District 1, I had to go through this big puddle of water. Now, we all have our areas we live, but we travel throughout the city. So it's like street lights. I don't have a street light in front of my house, so I shouldn't pay for street lights. But you drive through the city, and street lights is a matter of safety. You want to be able to see no matter where you live and where you travel to. So it's those things that if we start, in my opinion, putting, well, District 1 get $500,000, District 2 get $100,000, District 9 get 10. You have issues there. Stormwater fee is supposed to cover runoff water throughout the city. So it's used throughout the city. Now, would I change a few little things in it? I got a problem with the grass cutting. Yes, you want to help beautify the community. Yes, the city needs help in keeping lots cut and all of that. That's something we have to suffer through, because we've had problems with overgrown lots, abandoned houses ever since I came to Augusta. And the way we can finance it, you can't do that much, you know. We're over there, had all the people to move from the Hyde Park area. We're supposed to be turning that into a retention pond. Engineering service need, I think he said $8 million. They give them $2 million. How you go get the project done? So that's where stormwater comes in and can help with that type of thing.
So do you think that every dollar that comes in for a stormwater fee should be spent on a stormwater project?
Yes, but being that it's a enterprise, it pays an administrative fee to administer the program.
But excess stormwater, I don't know if there's ever been excess stormwater money, but that shouldn't go back into the general fund.
No, it should stay in stormwater, because if you keep up with the stormwater projects and keep the money flowing, a lot of the projects will end up completed. Once it's completed, you don't have that anymore. Then you can make some change. Then what you pay for a stormwater fee, you know, I think my house, I paid $12 and $12.30 or something like that. But that's because I have a big driveway. I don't have a problem with it.
So what do you say to the folks in rural Augusta or South Augusta that have zero stormwater infrastructure whatsoever, but are paying stormwater fees that are getting spent elsewhere in the city?
It's going to eventually get out there. We've only had it 5 or 6 years, and we have major flooding problems in the city. So, and there's been years and years without any money to do anything about it. Now we're doing something about it. Now everybody's not going to get happy in day one. So as time goes on, all the projects will eventually come to an end.
So the stormwater fee is calculated based on the amount of impervious surface that a property has. Churches that have large parking lots, for example, are paying large fees for stormwater just because they have large parking lots. Would you ever consider a proposal exempting churches from stormwater fees similar to property taxes?
Well, I would make sure that they've gone through the, it's a process that engineering service have, that if you have certain underground water storage and a variety of different steps and things, I don't remember them all, But you get with engineering service, they look at all these things, and if you have these things, it cuts down on your fee. Do we want to exempt the churches? Whatever answer you give on that question is a bad answer, because church should be treated just like everybody else. Then if you go against the church, folks say you're not a Christian. But it's one of those things. Maybe, I wouldn't say eliminate it totally, no. Maybe make some adjustment to their fee. I could be in favor of that. But the church and people of the church still benefits from the stormwater.
So you had said they should be treated the same. Do you think the churches should be paying property taxes?
Well, my pastor could kill me. I don't think so. But you could, one way you could address it is put a certain level based on how much property that you have. You know, you have like First Baptist. They have, quite a few acres of land out there. And then you have another church down here on Wrightsboro Road that's just right there. You can't tax them both the same. So it comes to an issue.
Well, they're not taxed the same.
What?
It's based off the amount of surface they have.
Yeah, for the stormwater fee. But I was trying to make a point where some you could understand paying and some you can't. You know, and you would just have to figure out how you come up with that. But property taxes for the churches, that would be a question that you have to really study real hard to get some good input, because it's such a difference. You know, you have a big church, then you have a small church. You know, do the small church suffer and the big churches go ahead and, you know, he could write a check. So that's one of those things that would take some thought.
So last question on the stormwater. If the stormwater is really treated like a tax, not a utility, the way it is collected, and it's not based off of usage of anything, and everybody pays it in the county, would it make more sense to roll that over into property taxes? That way it's more fair across the board to all property owners, and eliminate the stormwater fee just included in the property taxes.
That's a thought.
That would solve the church issue
Yeah.
with them being exempt. And each district would, in a sense, pay their own share somewhat based on their property value. There'd be a property tax increase.
Right.
But it would be, like you said, I think you said you paid $12 a month.
Yeah. 12 something.
It would be the same,
Yeah.
virtually.
That's not bad. That's not a bad idea.
Why do you think they just didn't do a property tax increase to start with instead of adding the stormwater, which has been controversial?
I don't think the commission would have 6 votes to increase property tax.
But isn't that the
Yeah.
same thing as a stormwater tax fee?
You call it something different so people think it's something different. You know, and well, in conversations I've had about raising property taxes, which I personally think we need to. We definitely need to, but I understand it's a state regulation and all of this, so we need to increase our property taxes because there's a growing demand on services from the city in Augusta with the growth. But most people that I've talked to, they think it's a far-fetched idea and it doesn't make much sense. But just looking at the growth since I've been back in Augusta, it's outrageous compared to the way it was when I left. And if you look at, you get all these new people coming to the town, all these houses going up. You know, we have to raise our taxes eventually to improve on our services. We want the streets clean, but you can't afford the employees to sweep the streets. So we have to come up with a way to kind of change that. So it's just one of those things we still have to talk about.